This is the Christmas Ka celebration. If you're joining us on Facebook or Instagram, please join us live. You can be part of the studio audience. Just go to pulver.com, register under GGTV, and you can be part of the live studio audience where you can interact with me and Lauren and all the other amazing goddesses and gaiases that are going to be joining us tonight. So the holidays, I'm in my holiday pajamas and my dog is downstairs. He's in matching pajamas. He's not feeling so well right now, but maybe he'll make an appearance. And I hope you're comfy tonight. I hope that you're having a nice, perhaps, beverage of your choice in your mug. I have my little snowman mug here. Oh, hi, Michelle. Welcome. So I have a couple fun things that we're going to do tonight. You know, I was thinking with the holidays, we all celebrate different things. This isn't like a Christmas, a Hanukkah, Diwali. Like this is just about giving and about hope and about inspiration and being a grateful goddess. But of course, I have some fun little things that I'm going to share. So I'm going to start out with the fun little things, and then we're going to talk about ways of coping through the holidays, because it can be kind of lonely and sometimes it can be overwhelming. And as you know, I'm a coach, and I'd like to provide help to you, and I'd like to give my services to you. So please reach out to me, karenpulver@yahoo.com, if you would like to be coached. Okay, I could not resist this guy. I used to be afraid of him when I was little, watching Frosty, but this guy's amazing. Can you hear it? Okay, ice, baby. I mean, he makes you happy, right? Look at him with his little hat. He's the closest thing to my Hanukkah monster that I could find, because there were lots of Rudolphs and Santas, and I celebrate Hanukkah. Okay, he's not going to stop singing, so you can join along with the dancing until it's over. And while you're doing that, think about what you're grateful for. All right, I had to share him. He's so cute. I also, of course, have Rudolph. I won't turn him on. He sings Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I added some Christmas stuff because I have to say, growing up, I always wanted a Christmas tree. I was that Jewish girl that had that best friend, Jenny, up the street, and she had the Christmas tree, and I would go and be so jealous of her getting presents. But let me tell you, one Christmas, I woke up and ran downstairs, and there were presents in the fireplace. And I was like, oh, Santa came to my house. It was amazing. I don't know if you're one of those Jewish people that happened to you too, but I have to tell you, there was one time in my family that Santa came to my house too with my kids. And it was probably one of the best days of their lives. But you can really make the holidays special, and you can really have fun with it and do some really interesting, fun things. So I wanted to show you a couple hacks, holiday hacks. The first are for Hanukkah. I make these latkes or latkes. Wherever you're from, you're going to say it differently. And I used to sit and grate potatoes. Raise your hand if you've grated potatoes, those of you that are here. I grate and grate and grate and grate. Oh, it would take forever, and it would be really time consuming. Until my friend and mentor, Susan, she might be watching this right now, she did a cookbook with me, and we did this food in the city, and it was for Children's Hospital. And she had this recipe in there called Mindset Potato Pancakes. I will have the recipe for you if you'd like to email me, but I'll tell you, it is a hack, because here you go. You use these simply potatoes that are already shredded for you, okay? And then you add your matzah meal. Oops. And you add, yes, it's kind of like doctoring up, but you add your potato pancake mix, eggs, water, salt and pepper, and there you go. You add your applesauce and sour cream, put it on a plate. I had the Hanukkah plate. I have to show these because I'm so proud. This was from Skylar in 2004, it says. My daughter. If you're a mom or dad, you probably have these kind of plates too. See, you can see my kids wanted to celebrate Christmas. Christmas. And here's the Happy Hanukkah. I love these plates. There you go, if you'd like to make one. I don't know if they're still in business, but I save these, I bring them out, and it's really, really festive. My next holiday hack are sugar cookies. Why should you sit there and make the sugar cookie dough? It never comes out right. So just buy the Pillsbury or the, I don't know, what are the other makes? Just buy this dough because it's really the frosting. The frosting is the kicker. So my good friend Jill sent me her recipe for frosting. It's a bag of powdered sugar, a half a stick of softened butter, and heavy whipping cream. Don't put skim milk. Just come on, just do it. Just have fun. And then you add food coloring. If you don't like food coloring, then you don't have to. But look how beautiful this red is. It's probably good on a lucky. Listen to me, Michelle. I'm saying lucky. I've lived here too long in Chicago. I know. Look at this blue. I don't know why Hanukkah's blue. Do you guys know why Hanukkah's like blue and white? You do, Lauren. Why?
It's representative of the Israeli flag. It's white and blue.
How could I not? Okay, I'm a bad Jewish girl.
Oh,
Okay.
you're not. Ever.
Well, that's why, people. It's blue and white. You learn something every day on Grateful Goddesses. Anyway, it's the frosting. Don't buy the frosting. You can buy the sugar cookie dough. That's fine. But then it's the frosting that makes it. And then, of course, you can add your sprinkles or whatever you want. So those are my holiday hacks. All right. I wanted to talk to you about feelings that we have during the holidays. I don't know about you, but I used to get I had these high expectations for the holidays, especially with my kids growing up. I was like, what am I going to do for Hanukkah? And especially because my kids were jealous of Christmas, as I was. So one year, I put together this every single night we did something special. But it was like one night, of course, they got gifts. The next night we did something for a charity. The third night they all got books. Then we had a chocolate night. I was like trying to think of all these things. And they wrote letters to each other, this and that. That's the one year that they remember of Hanukkah. All the other years they don't remember, but they remember that one year. But listen, if you can do that, that's great. But most of the time, either we're tired, we don't have the energy, or it's like it's too overwhelming. I don't know. I had a lot of energy that year, so I did it. Whatever it is, the holidays can be a little bit overwhelming. Sometimes you can feel lonely. So I did some research, put my little coach hat on and my psychology background, and I wanted to help you out there with how to deal with those feelings of isolation and loneliness during the holidays. So the first thing, of course, is gratitude, showing your gratitude and really looking at what gives you meaning, what you feel inside that gives you purpose, that gives you meaning in your life. Because really loneliness is when you feel disconnected from meaning or, something bigger than yourself. So one of the things that I want you to do, and that is can do this with me. Now I'm putting my teacher hat on. You need to organize your list of feelings into a list. Like, why is it? Sit and reflect. Like, what matters to you? What's really important to you right now during this time? What do you want to do? Do you want to see family? Do you want to connect with someone you haven't seen for a long time? Do you want to treat yourself to something special? And then also write a list of when do you feel vulnerable? So for me, big Hanukkah parties, I don't know, I just have never loved them. I'm sorry if you're out there and you've invited me to a big Hanukkah party, but I personally prefer to just do it alone with my family, with my immediate family, or of course, if my parents or in-laws are in town. So write down things like, what is it? Maybe there's a certain family member that really gets you and really like, oh, how am I going to deal with this person? So write it out like a shopping list. You can do this now or after the show. And the reason why you want to do this is because it helps you understand what is it that puts you in that negative mindset, right? Like, then you're prepared. Then you know what you can do to help create a plan so that you can manage it. Okay, and here's some of the things that you actually can do. Here are some of the plans of things that you can do. And you might say, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not sure. But hear me out, because you never know. You can try and remove yourself from the uncomfortable situation. So let's say you're with a big group at a party and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, this person's driving me crazy, this friend or this family member, because that happens. You know, they're talking about how perfect their life is, and you're like, oh, but I'm having a hard time. Just get up and move into the other room, or go help with cleaning up, or look around and find someone who you feel is positive and go talk to them. So just kind of remove yourself if you can. Go for a walk, go outside. The second thing you can do, and this has been really hard for me, but I'm 56 and I'm finally learning how to do this. Set your boundaries. Say no. Say no in a politeful way. Okay. You don't want to be a BIT. You know, you don't want to be that girl or guy, asshole, but you want to set boundaries. So you want to say, like, do what's important for you. You want to take charge of your own emotional state. Okay. So what do you need at this time? So a lot of times I'll say, well, I used to do a lot of avoiding, like not calling people back or that kind of thing. But that maybe is temporary and it doesn't last, because the person will still, continue, or something will still happen. So you want to say, thank you so much. I really wish I could do this for you. I love you. I care about you, but this is just not going to work for me. And that's it. That's it. They're going to say why and what are the reasons. And you just say, I just can't. I just, I have to take care of me. And that's it. And there's something called Greystone, where, you just you're boring. Okay. So if they keep calling you and they keep wanting you to do this or do that for them, and you just like, oh, I'm, just be bland, because then you won't continue to be asked to do too much. Okay, so it is a practice. It's a muscle. It takes time. But really, I don't know about you, but when I say yes too much, I get drained. It's not always what I want to do. A lot of the times it is, don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's like, I think about it, I'm like, why am I helping this person with this? Like, they can find, like, what is it that I'm doing here? I just wasted a whole day, where I could have been with my family or doing something for me. All right. The next is so important, and it's something that I actually I experienced firsthand just a week ago. Volunteering. Okay, think about, what can you give? All right. It's like better to give than to receive. I think that's the quote. And it is so true. And I've always given little things in my life. Like, I've always given to fundraisers, or I've raised money for fundraisers, or I've worked at like a soup kitchen, or I've watched kids at different places. But what I just did recently last week, which I'm going to share with you in a few minutes, was so empowering. It helps you to connect with people. It really helps you to feel like you have a purpose. And when you can find that purpose, it just is this feeling, it just overtakes you, and you don't feel lonely anymore. You feel like, wow, like I actually did something for someone. So there's obviously, like I said, different ways of doing this. And I'm going to show you in a minute this marvelous project that my husband and I and my daughter were involved with last week. Okay, the next one is really redefining your expectations. Okay, so New Year's. I used to hate New Year's. I don't know about you. I sound so pessimistic, but I used to hate it because it never would be what I would want it to be. Maybe in my 56 years, I had a handful of those. Oh, this is amazing. But a lot of times I would fall asleep before midnight. I wouldn't hear the fireworks. I would be missing out on that party. Just something wouldn't quite be right with what I anticipated that it was going to be. So take a look at what the holidays, what should it look like versus, well, what should it look like? Meaning, what does society thinks it should look like versus what is it actually for you? Okay, because that can lead to negative feelings. So you need to create your own holiday traditions. You need to decide, how am I going to celebrate the holidays? How am I going to make this special for me and not for someone else? One of the things our family does when we light the menorah, and here's the menorah that we have, that I'm going to wait. Actually, I'm going to light it downstairs when I'm finished. It's the fourth night. When we light the menorah, we say our prayers that my father-in-law gave us this book back when we were married. And every night, it's really beautiful because every night there's something different. So the first night talks about freedom. The second night talks about family. Third is study of Torah. The fourth tonight is all about hope, then charity, then peace, for human friendship, faith. And we read these prayers and we talk as a family. Then comes the fun part. And I don't know how it started, but these guys are in our home and maybe in your home around this time, these little cutie clementines. There used to be there's always a bowl in our kitchen at this time of year. And again, I don't know how it started, but we would go around the island in our kitchen after we light the menorah, and we'd start singing, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party. We'll all dance the hora, and on and on. If you know that song, you can sing it. I know you're laughing, but we do this like crazy, silly thing. And we have these cuties and then we open them up and they're sweet. And it reminds us of the sweetness of the holiday. And it's so, so silly. I have videos of when the kids were younger doing this, and we still do it now. And we FaceTime them and they get their cuties and they juggle them and throw them at each other. Now our dog thinks it drives him nuts because if you have a dog, you'll know he thinks they're balls and he's like, oh, he wants the balls, but they're not. So figure out whatever little tradition that you can do with your family or even by yourself that you can introduce, whatever it is, whether it be cutie clementines or whatever that may be. All right, we've done this before. Gratitude list. What are you grateful for? What do you appreciate in your life? It's well documented that when you list what you're grateful for, it puts you into a more optimistic headspace, right? It has this transformative positive effect. And I don't want to say it's like toxic positivity, like, I'm so grateful for everything. But there's got to be something in your day today. I'm going to put you guys on the spot that are joining me tonight. Lauren, what happened today? What do you appreciate? What are you grateful for?
Lots of things happen. Let's see. I think I'm most grateful for the fact that even though we're all in different places right now, my kids are in Philly, my sister's at her house, my niece is in New York, we actually got to light Hanukkah candles. Nora was missing, unfortunately, because she had to work. But we had our cross-state, 3-state Hanukkah lighting. So that was really fun. It was the first time this Hanukkah that we were all able to light together, just due to, schedules and sickness and all kinds of crazy things. But I'm grateful for my family and grateful that we get to celebrate Hanukkah together. It's my favorite celebration by far. Just like you say, it's always fun. We spent most of our Hanukkah, most of our times always trying to get different people to light candles with us every night so that we would have like 8 nights of different people around, which was always good. And during this time, this season and this time of the year, it's a bittersweet because we miss our parents, but at the same time, we're grateful for each other and we're happy to have the friends that we get to celebrate each different holiday with. So,
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. And you did FaceTime or they were all in person?
no,
FaceTime.
years before it was all in person, like when the kids were little, but today it was FaceTime. So we have We have a picture of all of us FaceTiming together, and we have our own pictures of our own Chanukiot, but everybody lit, and it sort of leaves you with a big smile. So it's good.
COVID, silver lining of COVID,
Exactly.
this learning how to communicate with each other. And then,
Right.
we had a lot of our celebrations this way. And I like it. I like it because you can see everybody from all over the world. Before, it used to be like phoning people and like answer the phone off, we miss them. Right now,
Right.
it's like,
Exactly. It's so true. Let's see if we can get Michelle to come
I
in.
know I'm gonna get Michelle to speak. Michelle, what kind of little traditions do you do?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys. How are you? Um, so, I'm really just thinking about being grateful. It's just my daughter and I at home right now. And I'm just so grateful that she wants to still light the menorah with me and say the prayers. And, we make latkes together and do all those things. And I use that same recipe. I've used it for years and everybody loves it. It's the best thing ever.
Lauren, you have to try it. You gonna try it?
It's so good.
It's so funny because we are such the opposite end of making latkes. We take potatoes and our eggs and our matzo meal, and we used to grate them, but our dad taught us to put them in the blender. So you take one potato to a quarter of an onion and an egg, and you put it in the blender, and it's the best stuff ever. And you only add a little bit of matzo meal as you need to, and they're awesome.
Oh, so they're really smooth.
Oh, they're smooth. They're so good. They don't have those little, we used to fight when we were little about if we liked the little crispy parts, because one grandma made it one way and grandma made it the other way.
Yeah, see, this has like the actual look.
Of
Like
crispies. And for me and my, allergy to onion and allergy to garlic, I can't use any of those mixes. So I make my latkes very plain, plain and salty, and theirs are with onion and stuff. But maybe one day we'll try. Yeah, salty the better.
Michelle, your daughter was still involved, which is like challenging because I know your daughter's 28 years old, and it's like, really?
Well, she's 26, but yes.
But my girls are 32 and oh my goodness, 32 and 27. Yeah.
Oh, she's younger. She's in between. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but whatever. I get the point. No, she loves to do it with me. And, this year I got her something big because usually we'll still do like a gift every night or almost a gift every night. And it's kind of weird because we're not doing that. But she actually got me a gift this year besides like making me stuff. I think it's the first year maybe that she got me something. I don't know. I hope she's not listening.
Oh,
it was so sweet and thoughtful. Like, and you know what? It was so nice and it was something I needed. And just like, I love the little things and I love that we can be together. Of course, you reminded me that it's now dark outside and we haven't lit it yet.
Well, talk about that. Okay, I forgot to mention that. It's winter solstice, which the shortest day of the year. But the good news is that from now on, it's going to get longer and brighter. So
thank goodness.
Nice. So, okay, back to the gratitude list. Definitely write down even something that happened to you today that, I just thought just made me so happy. I'm so happy that I have that in my life. And I'm so great. Honestly, like Lauren, your family, I love you. I'm so grateful you're in my life. And Michelle, meh. Michelle knows she's my like soul sister. I love having you in my life and all my goddess, I don't want to leave anyone out. All my goddess friends. Okay. This was something I was thinking about, mental health, right? Loneliness. We talked about that. We talked about ways that you can deal with, but like beyond that, if you're feeling really down, obviously there's suicide hotlines. Look what just happened with Twitch. I saw him and thought he had this beautiful, perfect life. And then what happened, right? And it's with a lot of people. And so what I was thinking today, what I wanted to say tonight was, because I've been down, not to that point, but I've been down. And it's so funny, Michelle, you're here because Michelle's sent me little emojis and that's it, a heart. a hug, nothing else. Or sometimes just calling someone and leaving them a message. Do not expect a call back. Just call, say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I love you, right? All those little things, check up on people. Even if you think they're happy and have the most beautiful, fabulous life, check in on them, drop by, go bring them cookies or latkes or something like that, because we really don't know what's going on inside. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's okay to ask. I think it's okay to say, hey, how are you? Because I wonder if, especially those people that are so beautiful and everything's so perfect, if anyone asks them if they're okay. You know, are you okay? Do you need help? I'm here for you. Let's go for a walk. So please don't forget to do that. And before I show you the videos with this great week I had last week, I wanted to show you Keegan. This is Keegan. He's a Starbucks barista, okay, at the Target Starbucks down the street. And I'm showing you him because he puts these messages on the, the glass while you're waiting for your coffee. They're on people's receipts. And I took pictures and I think it's great. Food for thought. Learn to accept before you understand. We all deserve love. Another day I went. Food for thought. You are never as young as you are now. Food for thought. Stop trying to control other people's perception of you. It is not your job to make people like you. Authenticity will follow. And the last one, this is like every day. I used to go to Starbucks. Now I have a coffee maker that my son and daughter-in-law bought us, so I don't go to the Starbucks, but I'm going to go visit him just to see what he put up. Food for thought. Learning to embrace life's shiftiness can be hard. From the wrinkles on our skin, the change in the air, old and new relationships, it is all precious. Maybe try to lean into those moments. Don't skip over them. I mean, and I said to him, where do you find that? Where do you come up with that? Why do you do this? And he's like, because a lot of times when people come get their coffee, they're like stone cold, like their face is just, they're in motion. And when they're waiting for their coffee, they see it and they shift. And he sees that shift. And he's a barista. And I'm like, are you a therapist? I'm like, he's like, I just find these quotes, some of them I make up. And I thought that was so beautiful. And I was thinking, I don't quite know, and maybe you can add suggestions of ways that you can do that in your day. Maybe sending a text to just go through your list of contacts and just send something random. But it's meaningful, not just like copy and paste a quote. Oh, this is a quote. Like, what is meaningful for you? One day I was walking and I came across, I have a picture, but I forgot to pull it up. A little cup, like a mug, and it said peace on it on the ground, and a piece of paper, and it said, if you need this, take this. And then it like hashtag the Instagram. And if you don't, someone else will. I didn't take it, but I was like, I took a picture and I was like, wow, like that happiness, that love, it needs to spread. It just needs to grow. And those little things, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like, what are some ways we can help others during this holiday season or any time in the year? Any suggestions? Or do you do anything like that? Like sending notes, or I know, Michelle, you send little emojis.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I actually like to just, I read this somewhere, but I like to do it anyway. Like just compliment people. And it, it has to come from an authentic place, of course, it really does. But it's so nice and it makes people's day, like just a small little thing to even some stranger. I do it all the time.
Like just, I like your pants, or
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
your pants. Yeah, I do that too.
And it just touches people.
That's so nice.
And by the way, yesterday I sent an emoji to somebody.
I like that. I like
You
the
don't, sometimes there's nothing to say, but you just want to let people know that you're thinking about them. Goes a long way.
I read some quote somewhere that like a lot of times people say, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. But you're not too busy to send one little message. Like you're just not. Like if a person means something to you or you really want to be there for someone, you're not too busy for that. I think. Like, sure, you can do it at certain times in the day, maybe set up a time every day that you do it, but it's just so important.
You know, on the flip side, if you don't mind,
No, I don't.
sometimes I think it's okay to forgive ourselves too if we know somebody's going through a hard time and we forget that day or for a couple days to do something, because we are all busy. And you know, I mean, I've been there, and you know, I want to like beat myself up a little because, oh no, I meant to reach out and I didn't. But
Right.
you know, it's okay, then we got to do it the next time.
I agree with you. We're letting my daughter in. I think she's going to hold up my dog. That's a great idea, Taylor, because he won't. Oh, he's not wearing the sweater.
Yeah, I took it off him because, you know, he wasn't doing so well.
Well, can you show it?
I put it on the, he's trying to eat my dinner. Archer.
Well,
But me and Dad were listening to you on Facebook, and I said that I had an idea that you can also, it's a little behind, but you're talking about how to be nice to people or something.
yes.
And I liked what you said, Michelle, about Dad, turn that off. Stop. Is that complimenting other people, but I also think you could invite people to something or reach out to see someone in person. So I know, like, if somebody random reached out to me, I'm like always like, oh, so nice that they were thinking of me and that they want to see me. So something like that, or just sending a text. I feel like, you know, for me, like being a college student, I just got home from break. So checking in with your friends, you know, maybe texting friends you're not that close with and saying, hey, how's break? What have you done? It's always nice to receive those little texts.
It's
So yeah.
No, that's great. Thank you. I thought you were bringing Archer on with the matching pajamas. He will not put them on. Too bad. Taylor, that's so nice. It's so true. And it's like, I love that you're like younger generation, and it means so much because Taylor, when you're on Instagram and you see like these beautiful people and these beautiful images, you still want to check up on people. Like you still want to make sure everyone's okay. Right?
Yeah. And I also would say that when I think about myself, I think a lot of people would see me as like the bubbly, I'm like always the fun friend. Like, I feel like when people think of me, they think, wow, she must be like totally fine all the time and so happy. But, you know, there are moments that like I cry and I like have hard times, you know.
What?
You know. Oh yeah, I cry. But you know what I mean? Stop. But you know what I mean? That like
Yes.
I come off of the person who could be somebody like that nobody would think to ask about, but I don't know. Yeah.
How are you doing, Taylor?
That is so true, Taylor. People think that too sometimes about me, like, oh, you're okay, and I'm not. Like, there's stuff that we all go through. We're human. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing. All right, we've come to the point where I want to share what my husband, my older daughter, Skylar, and I did, and next year Taylor's going to join us, did last week. And this is where I want to encourage you to think about extending yourself to giving and to helping, and how I'm still on a high from this week from what we did. So Lauren's going to share, I have 3 videos. Lauren's going to share the first video and it will explain. There's some loud music in the background, but this is Dr. Jonathan Levine, and he paired up with Lenny Kravitz and his wife and family. And let's hear what they did. We can't hear it, Lauren. We can't hear it. Lauren, can you turn the sound up? I don't know if Lauren can hear me. Lauren. Well, while she's working on the sound, I'm going to text her. Yeah, we can't hear it. I can't hear you, Lauren. You're on mute. Maybe that's why. Let me tell you while she's working on that. Glow Good.
Normal, and that everybody kind of forgot about this, but they're happy, wonderful people, extremely grateful, and I will say that we get more out of it as a team than the people that we help, and we really help them. We do much more than just extracting teeth. We have teams of hygienists, teams of technicians, teams of dental specialists, oral surgeons, prosthodontists, oral surgeons. This year we have a rock star named Eric Pulver. The guy who works at it. There he is. 1 or 2.
Switch it around, okay? There he is. Taking a picture. It's not working.
Get back. He clearly loves what he does, and he is such a great new member of our team. He's going to help us build out some future services in the future. I love this. Oh, and here he is.
One of the greatest finds I did, well, I was lucky enough to have, 2017 or 18, was this guy right here. Right here. I love him. I mean, look what you brought into our lives. Yes. No, yours too.
Oh, mine too.
Yes, yes. Let it only continue. Let us only grow stronger from it, and let us keep building the memories and helping these good people.
Yes. Yeah, we will. Yes.
So I wanted to explain more about what that was. Glow Good was founded by philanthropic entrepreneurs Dr. Jonathan Levine and Stacy Levine. Glow Good sends fully equipped teams of dental professionals to communities in need to provide free oral health care tools and education. Glow Good has recently completed missions in Rwanda, United States, and Eleuthera, Bahamas. So we were in Eleuthera. My husband was Pulver oral surgery, a little promotion there. If you're in the Chicago or Indiana area, please go to him. He was pulling teeth all day. He was fixing people's mouths. I was so impressed by how much care he took with the patients, and how they were so grateful. Like they were just so appreciative to have this care for them. My daughter and I were there as volunteers, and we helped with the kids. So the next, the kids who were waiting for services or the kids who were getting services themselves. And the next video is what I took of my daughter and one of the kids. We can't hear it. Volume. So she's getting her hair braided. I'll do the little commentary. Lauren, I'm not sure if you can put the sound on.
Done. I had sympathy.
Okay, so now
We
I
have
feel
Skylar
great.
Pulver along with Alea and Maya. And Skylar, what are you doing here in Eleuthera?
I'm getting my hair braided.
You're getting your hair braided. This is the best salon ever. Tell us what you're doing here.
I just cleared all the nuts out of her hair, and when she just brush it, it just gets soft and soft.
Tell us about your teeth. Let me see. Did you have work done?
Yeah.
What did you have done?
I had silver teeth.
You got some teeth pulled?
Yeah.
Did you have?
It didn't hurt that bad, but it really kind of hurt. I was kind of a little bit, but now I just stopped. So it didn't
How
hurt.
do you feel about the dentist helping you here?
It's good. It's good. They buy us stuff. They get anything, and they let us color.
That's great, Aaliyah. You keep braiding. Have a good time.
So that was really fun. She was just braiding my daughter's hair all day. My daughter had like different kinds of braids. And so we were with the kids and we with them. And it was just such a great experience with the kids. And then the final video that I want to show it happened kind of impromptu. Skylar pulled me over and said, look what they wrote. So they read these letters.
We had so much fun with you. You and your mom is so funny. I will not see you again. I love you so much. When you come back, I will be happy. I love you and your mom. Celebrate when you get back with us. Bye. I love you.
Beautiful, Skylar, isn't that beautiful? Your letters are so kind. And
I want to read the next one.
okay, you read yours.
Let me check it. I love you so much. Look good. And you have a good trip. I love you so much. I love you and your family. Nice to meet you, Logan. You is so funny. I am going to miss you. Do not leave me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
You and your daughter is so funny. She laughed until I laughed as well. You and your mom funny as well. I love you. When y'all get back, I will. We'll treat y'all good. And I love you.
Thank you. We love you too.
I got next one. I was saying if we can celebrate when you're done.
Absolutely.
So they went on to write more letters that they gave to Glow Good about specifically their teeth. That was just to Skylar and I, which was, I never knew I was so funny. Like they kept saying we were so funny. So I'm happy that we made them laugh. I have my husband joining us, Dr. Eric Pulver, and I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you about the experience because we're talking tonight about giving during the holiday time or all the time, right? And how transformative of an experience that was. And you were working nonstop. So do you want to share anything? You're muted, honey.
I'm unmuted now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, it was fantastic. I think that for so many years we would, do things and give back and maybe donate to charities and things like that. And this was different, and we really got immersed in the community and got to know the people in the community, and it really changed part of my perspective and maybe my life on being able to really give to people. And I think that we got a tremendous amount of energy back by giving, and it was challenging because we were doing things and it was different than how we were doing things at home, and it was being accepted and people were waiting, and you felt badly that they were waiting for this, but yet they were so appreciative to receive the care. And it was, I think, magnified by being part of a team and being part of an energy that, you could go and just have that experience and do it, or you could be really kind of led through it. And I think that's Jonathan and Stacy and the whole team, including Lenny Kravitz, who was obviously had some star power there,
Right.
and their inner network team, the Twice group and his kids, and they were great. Kind of added to all that because they led you through that process, and it made it more special. There was just so many people all working together, right? From the people making the dinners to the assistants and the staff and the team. So it was, you really felt like you were like on an Olympic team, right? Like
Well, they played loud music and it was fun, and it was just really positive. And yeah, there were people that couldn't be seen this time, but then you're going to go back and they'll be seen. They registered and they're going to be seen. But there's so many people that you helped, and they're so appreciative, so grateful. They're not in pain anymore. They have teeth. I mean, I think it was perfect for both you and I, right? Because I was helping with the kids, which I love. I loved. We were making slime and just playing games. And I was helping with registration, and you were in there working. And yeah, they built this amazing team. So the reason why I want to show everyone this, and I hope to interview Jonathan, Stacy, and maybe Lenny one day, is because this experience really as a grateful goddess was like the most meaningful I think I've had. Like, it's up there because it just was really, it gave like a whole week of service to helping people, and then just the appreciation that they had, and just the team building too. Like, I feel like everyone was helping each other in the clinic, and then when you got back, like, I feel like you possibly took it back to your office, right, about a team. And I want to take it back to my goddesses, like, to build this team and how we can support each other and help each other.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was great. And you don't have to travel around the world to do it. I'm sure that there's local places that it can be done too. And I think that, you know, lots of people engage in these things earlier and do different things, and that's nice. And I'm glad that we got to discover it together, right? And as a family, and have Skylar there with us. And I can't wait to go back.
So, of course, I want to mention a couple places, because donating is certainly something that you can do from home. If you'd like to donate to Glow Good, Lauren, maybe you can type this in. I wasn't prepared, but glowgoodfoundation.org. Okay. The other, of course, that I love to donate to is Surge for Water. That was Shilpa Alva that we interviewed, and her organization helps to provide clean water to people who don't have access to that. That's surgeforwater.org. And then Bongai, who's joined us as a goddess. I've missed her. I haven't seen her for so long. She has this incredible nonprofit called End Child Marriages. And Eric and I, as well as the goddesses, have donated towards helping girls who are like 12 and 13, and they're destined to be married off to older males in the community. But what she does, what Bongai does, is when the money that she receives, she puts the girls in school so that they don't have to be married to these older men, because that's kind of what the culture does. That's kind of what the families do in order to support the family. So instead, they go to school, and then they have a whole different path. And I'm sure, you have your own list, you have your own way of donating, but anything you can do is really, really helpful. I know some offices, they instead of giving gifts, they give donations to different charities. So of course you can do that, and just give of yourself. So whatever you want to do to give, I think is great. And then you'll receive so much back. So we're going to end. I think I am going to light my menorah to end. Is that okay, honey?
That's okay.
Come downstairs, because you light the shamash. For those of you who don't know, it's the fourth night. And I think I will read, because it's hope for the fourth night. The fourth night, hope. Our sages have taught us that in hope, a person's future is illuminated and made creative. Ours are times when many people live in fear and great despair. Like the Maccabees, they're not even like the Maccabees, we need to build our lives on hope. Hope that ultimately truth will triumph over falsehood, and confidence that knowledge and understanding will finally dispose superstition and tyranny. So now, as we kindle these Hanukkah lights, or whatever holiday lights that you are lighting, may our lives be strengthened by the highest hopes and visions. Happy holidays. I hope the best for all of you. Cheers to gratitude. Here's my little snowman mug. Cheers. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the new year. I think we're going to see you in the new year. All right.
Recording stopped.
That was great.